Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tanessa, the event coordinator for the FAU Libraries, and I would like to welcome you to this webinar, FAU Libraries Live, the Faculty Edition. Today, we are welcoming the faculty and staff of FAU Libraries. They will introduce themselves along the way and share some of the resources that are available to help you succeed at FAU. We'll be taking questions at various points throughout the presentation, but please feel free to use the chat box at any time. At the end of the webinar, we'll be giving away some prizes, so we encourage you to stick around. Now that the housekeeping is out of the way, we'll begin with a quick video message from the Interim Dean of the Libraries who could not be with us live today.
Hello, my name is Amy Kornblau, and I am the Interim Dean of the FAU Libraries. I am so happy that you have decided to join this presentation today to learn more about the library's many services and resources. I especially want to welcome you back to campus and into the libraries for what I hope will be a very exciting, rewarding, and safe in-person fall experience. If you forget your mask, we will have one for you. Stay safe and go Owls!
With that, I'd like to turn it over to Crystal Morrow of the Information Technology Services team. Crystal, I believe that you're muted. I cannot hear you. I'm gonna hop in for Crystal just while we're trying to figure out the audio. She wanted to share with you some of the hardware, software, and technology resources that are available when you or your students visit the library. Many patrons come to the library to use our computers, and we have 4 computer labs spread across the first and second floor. These are generally open floor workstations where groups of students can work together or students can work alone. We have both Macs and PCs in these areas. There's no reservation system, and it's a first come, first served basis. Graduate students have access to the second floor graduate study lounge. This is a private space reserved for graduates, honors, and medical students. If you or your students want to see if a library computer is available, you can check online with our computer availability application. There's also space around the first floor for laptop use. Lastly, the FAU Libraries are now offering 2 private meeting spaces for students looking for a quiet place to conduct a virtual meeting. Our 2 conference suites are located on the 5th floor of the Wimberley Library and can be reserved by filling out the reservation form on our website. We have many software suites available for use, from Microsoft Office, the Lockdown browser. We strive to be a software catch-all for many majors. Our computers have webcams installed, so students can take exams on our computers. For a full software list, you can visit the library's website or use the link shown here. We also have the Adobe suite of applications. This is a subscription service with Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere, and more. These are on specific Macintosh computers, which are spread out in the first floor and room 215. They are labeled. The Macs also have Final Cut for video editing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
There we go. I don't know, my headset decided it didn't want to work.
No worries, I'm gonna pass it back to Crystal.
Thanks. All right, okay, so scanning stations. We actually have a few document and book scanners through the library. These scanners let patrons quickly digitize their resource material. They can be emailed or saved to a USB flash drive and later looked at. We have a printing service available. We have print release stations all around the building, and these release stations are set up on all of our Macs and PCs, so students can print straight to the queue. And then they can also look at the queue from fauprint.fau.edu website. And there is also a refill station on the first floor. Off-campus Connect. This is a big one. This is where all of our resources are, all of our electronic resources, journals, publications, databases. This is all available for you and your students to access while you're on campus And if you're off campus, you can log in through Off-Campus Connect system. We use a gateway service, which is called Open Athens, which lets you access all of our e-resources without needing to be on the website or at the school. You can use a search engine like Google or go directly to a publisher's website. And with your FAU.net login, you can gain access to these resources. You can also search from directly within the library's website. And by visiting http://library.fau.edu/off-campus-connect. Through here, you'll be taken to a My Athens site where you can add favorites and quickly search through one search the journals, the catalogs, and the databases. It's kind of like a little personal hub page for you to like peg favorites and things. So, we have access to a lot of electronic resources, O'Reilly, JSTOR, IEE Explorer, a lot of other subject areas that could all be accessed, case studies, case files, theses, dissertations, all this sort of stuff. It's all available. Lastly, those of us in IT, we love technology and we really love to see what we can do with it. We host webinars on a variety of tech-related topics. I'm sure you've seen some of my emails out on the L. The library has loaner laptops, iPads, and webcams. These are for students under financial aid during the fall 2021 semester. We do also offer semester-long laptop loaners. This can be checked out through the Lib2 Go system, and there's a form. In addition, obviously, to the IT department at the library, there's also, tech departments at each college. There's also the central OIT office, and they can all provide you additional or more specific resources. And of course, a lot of people aren't aware, but we have a lot of software licenses that are available for free through the university as a faculty member and students. Things like Office 365. There's others, there's MATLAB. I mean, there's a whole bunch of software suites you can gain access to with your FAU.net ID. And that's about it. I'd like to pass this along to Tom O'Brien from Instruction and Engagement.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Tom O'Brien, and I am a member of the library's Instruction and Engagement Department. Next slide, please. Quick introduction to my department. From left to right, we first have our fearless leader and the head of our department, Ken Frankel. Ken is followed by our proud Navy veteran, Larry Mello, who in turn is followed by our Jill of all trades, Laurie Rebar, and then finally myself. Next slide. So what do we do in the Instruction and Engagement Department? I'm so glad you asked. Next slide, please. Okay, simply put, we're here to provide all of our faculty, students, and staff with research assistance, as well as assistance in accessing and navigating the many collections and resources that the library has to offer. Next slide. So where does instruction fit into this? Well, aside from one-on-one work with students, we can provide your classes with an introduction to the library and its resources and services, and we can tailor it to meet the needs of your subject areas or class. To request one of these instructional presentations, simply click on the services link on the library's homepage, scroll down to instruction services, and set up an appointment for a librarian to come visit your class either in person or virtually. Next slide. Okay, engagement. Each one of us in the department reach out to various colleges on campus to provide your college with a liaison to support your college and the classes in it. We also like to give you an opportunity to assist us with purchasing subject material for the library to support your programs and classes. Suggestions are always welcome. Next slide. And finally, we're here to help you. We provide live and recorded workshops and tutorials, real-time virtual library help through our Ask a Librarian service, research assistance and online guides, and hosts of other remote library services beyond our in-person services. Next slide. To borrow a quote from a popular movie, help us help you. We're here to support both you and your students. Next slide. And next up is my colleague, Dawn Frood.
Hi, my name is Dawn Frood, and I am the Collection Development Librarian for FAU Libraries, and I'm also the Library Liaisons Coordinator. Next slide. To locate the library liaison for your specific area, if you go to the library's homepage under research, almost to the very bottom, you'll see listed the library liaisons, and you can search by your particular department and find your liaison that way. Or if you happen to already know your liaison, you can get the contact information by name. Next slide. And the liaisons exist specifically to outreach to faculty. So we are a little bit different than instruction and engagement because they also include students, but we are primarily a resource for faculty. So it's our goal to reach out to you as we have library happenings and we want to make you aware of. And if you need assistance with OER and copyright and other endeavors that we can help you with subject specific wise, we're the people to reach out to. Recently we had an email come out from the provost office relating the ARPA grant, and if you're looking to revamp any of your programs, we're the people in the library that might help you develop low-cost resources to assist with these programs. So please take advantage of this program. Thanks. And next up is John Cutrone from Special Collections.
Thank you, Dawn, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Cutrone. I'm the director of the Jaffe Center for Book Arts, which is on the 3rd floor east of the Wimberley Library, and we are part of a larger umbrella of special collections. So what does Special Collections offer to you? In our main department, which is located on the 2nd floor east of the Wimberley, one-of-a-kind unique collections such as university archives. So this stuff chronicles the history of our university all the way back to its time as the Boca Raton Army Airfield. On the 5th floor of the library at the East Wing, there's the Weiner Spirit of America collection. It's about $3.8 million worth of rare books that is particularly strong in the American Revolution and also in the colonial period. And downstairs and on the 2nd floor, over 180 individual collections from the 18th century to more modern books, as well as antique maps, rare books, manuscripts, newspapers, and much more. As they say, everything from Florida history to natural history. And on the slide, you can see there is a link to the Special Collections Department. On the 5th floor east of the library, one of the more popular parts of the library is the Recorded Sound Archives. RSA provides digital access to 3 music collections with FAU using your user ID and password. And there's over 16,700 albums that have been digitized and 92,100 songs to listen to. It's a pretty fabulous collection. And also they have a couple of Victrolas that you can see when you go visit. Their collections, it began as a Judaica collection, but soon expanded into jazz and vintage recordings as well, going back to 78 RPMs and wax cylinders, but also covering LPs and CDs and cassettes too. But these recordings go back to the early 1900s, and it's like I said, a pretty fascinating collection. And then my department here is the Jaffe Center for Book Arts. It's kind of interesting because Special Collections dabbles in the most traditional media in the library. And also here we do that, but also step into what we consider the future of the book. You can see I'm sitting here next to it's a Wessel iron hand press that dates back to 1890. I'm pretty sure it's the oldest technology here in the building. We have a working print studio, we have a paper making lab, and we also have a bookbinding studio where we teach students and people from the general public these skills. Our main collection contains over 10,000 items, which span from traditional book arts to paper engineering, broadsides, and lots more. When we talk about the future of the book, basically artist books, they're artists working in the book format. So they look nothing like what you'd expect a book to look like. So this is kind of where we move on to what lies ahead for the book format. Currently, all of our workshops and events are virtual. And it's pretty wonderful because we're reaching people from all over the world in our workshops. And you can learn more about these workshops and events at our website, jaffecollection.org. and also on our Instagram account at Jaffe Center for Book Arts. And if you'd like to contact Special Collections for more questions or more information, please feel free to reach out to us. Our general department email is lyska@fau.edu, and that's there on the screen ahead of you. That's lyska@fau.edu. And of course, the general website for the Special Collections Department is there as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass this on next to Renata Johnson.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Renetta Johnson. I'm the Night Operations Supervisor representing Access Services. Next slide, please. For those of you who know the library, you know your OWL card, as it states on the slide, is your key for getting into the building, as well as getting out, as well as checking out materials. Next slide, please. As it states, our hours of operation are Monday through Thursday, 7:40 a.m. to midnight. Friday is 7:40 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday is 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And Sunday is noon to midnight. Next slide, please. If you're interested in looking up what books we have, or there's a particular journal, article, or magazine that you're interested in, the website that we have for that'll give you that information, as it states, is library.fau.edu. This is your portal to getting all that type of information, research information that you would be using. Next slide, please. All right, just some little tidbits of information about the library and Access Services. Did you know that students, faculty, and staff can check out up to 500 books? We have a 24-hour, 7 days a week study center that's on the Breezeway next to Chick-fil-A. We have a diversity bureau, which has a collection of current or recent titles, and it is available for checkout. And as stated by Crystal, we have a graduate study lounge for graduate medical and honor students, and it's sweat access only. We have the key available at the service desk. Next, please. Who we are at Access Services, we provide a plethora of services to anyone who walks in the door. In other words, we are the gatekeepers of the library. And one of our many functions is the checking in and checking out of materials. We also have the ability to have course reserve materials available for the students. The faculty can fill out a form making a request that they want this particular item available to their students. Items are available for checkout include not only books and DVDs, but we do have study rooms, laptops, tablets, whiteboards, and markers and calculators, just to name a few items. And we also serve in a partnership role for the different departments in the building, and we are here to provide support and assistance as needed. Next slide, please. Access Services is here to provide you with services needed to ensure that your time here at FAU is productive and meaningful as you march forward into your future and as you continue to enhance the education and the learning for your students. We ensure that the collection is well maintained and organized and available to the user. We also provide a valuable service to those coming through our doors. And while the library is the backbone of any academic institution, it's Access Services that is its heart and soul. Next slide, please. And I would like to pass it on to Bruce Barron of our Government Information and Maps.
Thank you, Renetta. My name is Bruce Barron, and I am head of the Government Information and Maps Department. I would like a few moments to talk about our department. FAU Library is a part of the Federal Depository Library Program, or FDLP. This program is made up of over 1,100 libraries nationwide, including 28 in Florida. We are the only FDLP library serving the Palm Beach County Treasure Coast area. So why is this important? It means we are able to provide access to valuable resources, both print and online, that you can use in your research or teaching. If you consider all the departments, agencies, and bureaus in the United States government, as well as the activities of Congress, they all produce publications. In fact, Uncle Sam is the world's largest publisher. As a result, we have a large number of resources covering a wide variety of subjects. Today, many of these materials are also available in digital formats, such as full-text ebooks, research publications, and digitized maps. In addition, we have some specialized resources for in-depth research in many topics. These include foreign relations of the United States, a multi-volume series from the State Department featuring the inside story of American foreign policy, and the War of the Rebellion, another multi-volume series which contains the official records of the Union and Confederate forces during the Civil War. We also have useful statistical resources for those doing research in education, health, criminology, finance, economics, and more. Our department manages the GIS Corner, which is the library's Geographic Information Systems Lab. The lab provides access to the latest GIS software to all students, faculty, and staff. Many people in various disciplines, such as anthropology, public administration, biology, criminology, nursing, and business, are now using GIS in their projects and research. The GIS lab has new computers with the latest versions of ArcMap and ArcPro and is available all hours the library is open. An appointment is not necessary. We're also able to help you find training opportunities for people to expand their knowledge and skills. The libraries own a large map collection that includes over 38,000 physical maps. Faculty and students utilize maps in their research, but they can also be very useful for presentations. And almost all of our maps can be checked out. We have many types of maps, including political, topographic, cultural, historical, and even many science-themed maps. Many people are also using digital maps, and we can help you find those as well. Please contact us for assistance in finding any of our government information and maps resources. Now I would like to send it back to Tanessa for questions.
Thank you, Bruce. We're pausing for just a minute to give everyone an opportunity to send us any questions you might have so far. We're about halfway through the presentation. It is okay if you don't have any questions right now, because we'll be taking questions again at the end of the presentation. I don't see any questions at this time, so I'm going to pass it over to Michelle from Medical and Health Sciences Collections.
Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Kiba Connect, and I'm the Senior Medical Librarian for the College of Medicine at Florida Atlantic University. Next slide. Along with my colleague, Tiffany Follen, we provide support to faculty, students, and staff in the Charles E. Schmidt College of Medicine. We offer email and phone support, daily office hours, and appointments via bookings. You can view all of our contact information and our links to book appointments with us on our website, which is library.fau.edu/medical. That's the medical section of the library website. And if you go to the area that says /staff, you'll see all of this information. Next slide. More specifically about what we do at the College of Medicine. The first thing we do is we provide evidence-based medicine presentations for the College of Medicine. So we integrate lifelong learning and evidence-based medicine concepts throughout the undergraduate medical education curriculum. We also provide literature review consultations for College of Medicine faculty, staff, and students. We're happy to provide pointers via email or to have one-on-one appointments or drop-ins for more in-depth assistance. We also facilitate access to the medical library resources, which are also available on our webpage. Almost all of our resources are open to all FAU faculty, staff, and students. The one that has the most restrictions is our up-to-date access, which is limited to core teaching faculty and students. Unfortunately, we can't provide access to up-to-date to our clinical affiliate faculty due to licensing restrictions. And now I'll pass it over to the digital library.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Joanne Parenduke, and I'm the head of the digital library at FAU Libraries. Please visit us online where you can access curated digital collections from the library's unique and archival materials. You can also access educational and scholarly works created by FAU students, researchers, and faculty that have been deposited in our institutional repository. Discover digitized 18th century New England almanacs, part of our most recent Spirit of America digital collection. This collection includes over 1,000 digitized early American almanac speeches and foreign language pamphlets dating from as early as the 1670s. Explore digitized archival photographs of FAU campus and see how the university has grown and changed over time. Check out thousands of images from FAU athletics to dorm life. We offer a wide variety of content to discover, most of which you can download and reuse for educational purposes. Browse student and faculty research deposited in the repository. Find articles and patents produced by FAU faculty. Find DNPs, Doctor of Nursing practice capstones from the School of Nursing and conference proceedings from many of our faculty on campus, and posters from undergraduate students, all contributed to the repository. The repository also hosts FAU's graduate electronic theses and dissertations collection with more than 7,000 ETDs created at FAU since 1967. That's a lot of original research to direct students to explore. The digital library also connects FAU editorial teams to Florida Online Journals, a scholarly journals publishing program hosted by the Florida Virtual Campus. Using the Open Journal System software, editorial teams can peer review and publish open access journals. Our most recent mathematical cryptology is from FAU's math department, initiated by our own faculty. The Florida Geographer, the FAU Undergraduate Research Journal, and the FAU Undergraduate Law Journal are all peer-reviewed open access journals, publishing with Florida OJ for more than a decade now. That's just incredible. Any questions? Contact digital@fau.edu and have a great day. Next up is our scholarly communications librarian, Christy Padron.
Thank you for the introduction. If you are a newly minted faculty member, you will need to communicate your work and research to your scholarly or professional community. For those faculty members who are more seasoned, scholarly and creative work is being communicated in new and different ways. So Scholarly Communication Services is here in the library to help with educating the campus community on ways research and other types of scholarly or creative works are created, evaluated for quality, distributed, and preserved for future use. Next slide. We cover 6 broad topics for the FAU community. We will go to your class, your group, or even talk with you individually about copyright. The big 3 areas we talk about would be the copyright basics, fair use, that is how to apply copyrighted works to your research, your teaching, and then author agreements. The second topic we cover is open access, which is a model of scholarly publishing. We can show you how you can publish in open access publications, and then we'll also give you some information about deceptive or predatory publishers. Another area we will discuss is bibliometrics. Someone had asked, Goldsmith, I think, Goldsmith asked in the chat about the journal citation reports that the FAU library just acquired a subscription. So we could talk about bibliometrics, what they are, and how to find high impact journals. We could also assist with helping you find a scholarly publisher, but also a repository where you could put your work so that other people can openly and freely read it, and then how to identify a publisher. And the final 2 topics we discuss are ORCID, like researcher profile and identifier management tools like ORCID and ResearchGate, and how you could make the most of those online tools to communicate your work, share with the community, and also see what others are saying and reading with their research. And then finally, we talk about funder, public, and open access mandates. If your research was funded by a federal government or a certain foundation, they may want you to put your work as publicly available, and we can tell you what that means and how this can be done. Okay, next slide. We can offer these services through consultations. You can email us your questions and we can answer directly back. We do provide some limited face-to-face meeting options and also online. We are on Zoom, WebEx, and also Teams. We can meet that way if you prefer. We could also do presentations for your group, whether it is just a group of a few people who want to know more about a topic, or if you'd like us to present at your departmental meeting or unit meeting, we could do that too. We could do our presentations live and also asynchronously, where we provide a recording and then just send you the MP3. Okay, next slide. To help with your teaching, we do provide a variety of educational tools that you could use. Our scholarly communication services LibGuides address all the 6 topics that I mentioned before. If you'd like to learn more about copyright, fair use, open access, or those other topics, we do have some guides with some selectively curated materials so you could learn more about it and see how you could apply that to your particular work or discipline. The URL is there. We also provide some recorded webinars so that you can embed a YouTube video into your course, or if you want to do it yourself. We provide some instructional material about different aspects of copyright, open access, and things like that that you could use. Next slide. Just to also pitch an event, well, actually some events that we'll be having some copyright webinars on October 11 and October 13. If you go to the library's homepage, you can get more information about that. Our 2-part copyright webinar series will talk about copyright basics for the first one, and we'll also talk about copyright infringement, which is intended for a general audience. If you'd like your students to view this because you feel they really need to learn about copyright and the rights associated with it, you can assign them to watch that webinar if you'd like. A couple days later on October 13, we'll be having copyright myths and facts, because copyright is very frequently misunderstood. And then we'll also be talking about fair use and introducing that in that webinar. Then later on in the month, on October 27 at noon, I'll be having a webinar on deceptive publishers. You've probably heard a lot about fake publishers, pretend publishers, or predatory publishers. We'll talk about that in this webinar and how you can minimize your chances of using information from that or submitting your work to it. Next slide. If you have any questions, you are free to email me, scholarlycom with 2 M's at fau.edu. You could also visit the Scholarly Communication Services webpage so that you can get more information. And you could also request more information or a presentation or to meet with us at this URL. Next, I'll be introducing Garrett Good of Interlibrary Loan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Garrett. I'm from the Interlibrary Loan Department here at FAU, and I'll talk a little bit about what we do. So we like to refer to ourselves, if you don't know who we are, as the collection that we don't own. Essentially, what we do is we borrow and lend between other libraries. Now, of course, FAU's library can only be so big. We can only be subscribed to so many journals, you know. So what do you do when you need something that we don't own? Well, through Interlibrary Loan, we can get it from another library. So let's say UCF or even Library of Congress has a copy of a book or an article that you need for your research or maybe your students' research. You can just put in a request for it and we can get that for you. Either if it's a loan physically, CDs, DVDs, anything that another library might have physically, we'll get that shipped right here to our library and you can pick it up at the front desk. Or if you just need like an article, say, or a specific book chapter, you can actually request that as an article request, which is then delivered electronically as a PDF. And since that doesn't have to go through the mail system, those come way faster. Next slide. So this map is, we have a little flag for every library that we've either borrowed to or lent from. As you can see, it's mostly concentrated in the United States, mostly in Florida, but we do have a couple flags in Europe, Asia, Australia, so on and so forth. We actually lent something to McMurdo Station in Antarctica just about a year or two ago, so we can say that we have touched all 7 continents at this point. We are also a member of something called OCLC Express. OCLC is the sort of network that connects a lot of the libraries worldwide. And the Express group is the top 10% of borrowers and lenders. So since we're part of that group, we can then reach out to other members of that group to get you the stuff you need most reliable and the quickest. So that's basically us. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at lyIll@fau.edu. That's our office email. That'll be picked up by anyone here, and we're happy to answer any questions you have. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Leah, to talk about our wonderful branch campuses.
Thank you, Garrett. Welcome, faculty members. I hope your semesters are off to a great start. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Leah Plocharzik, and I am the director of the John D. MacArthur Campus Library here in Jupiter. And we are here to meet your needs and the needs of your students. We offer many services and resources that can benefit both your research and your instruction. One of the best places to go for a quick overview of all that we offer for faculty is our Lib2Go page, which can be found by opening the first link on this slide. In addition, we have a comprehensive faculty resources and services research guide found at the next link. We have faculty research guides that cover all of our best resources for you, organized by subject. The following is a quick overview of some of the services that I think would be most beneficial to you. As Garrett said, I would highly recommend that you create an Interlibrary Loan account and utilize this service to request materials from all over the United States and beyond. We have a number of electronic books and databases, as well as open educational resources. In addition, we subscribe to streaming videos, which can be used within your classroom settings. We offer course reserves and textbook reserves where you can place supplemental materials for your students to check out. I offer online consultations through my virtual office hours by appointment. And of course, you can always request an instructional session for your students where I will provide them with an overview of our resources and services. In these instructions, I will go into more detail about how to access our electronic and print materials and how to successfully navigate the databases that are most relevant to your needs and those of your students. I'm sure that all of you are aware of our online gateway to access our electronic resources known as Open Athens. As always, please reach out to me if you have any suggestions for materials that you would like to see added to our collection. These materials could be for your personal research or for your course instructions. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime with questions that you may have. I've included my contact information here for your reference. Next slide, please. I'm also presenting on behalf of the Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute Library, or HBOI as it's also called. Our librarian at HBOI just recently retired. HBOI is located north of Jupiter in Fort Pierce. It is primarily a research institute recognized for its world-renowned research in the marine sciences. Other subjects that the collection covers include nursing, biology, and the environmental sciences. Harbor Branch is a self-service facility and is accessible by using your OWL card. The current hours are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. In addition to a number of print and online resources, the Harbor Branch Library has laptops available for checkout and a smart classroom recording studio. If you need reference assistance or have questions, please use the Ask a Librarian link that is featured in this slide. Thank you so much for your time and your attention, and best of luck this semester.
Thank you, Leah. We're going to answer any questions that you might have in just a moment. So if you have any, now is your opportunity to submit those in the chat box. While I give you a moment to do so, I want to remind you that we'll be sending you an evaluation survey after this webinar ends. We'd love to hear your feedback on today's presentation, especially because this is our first time doing this for the faculty. I'll put the link in the chat box, or you can use your smartphone to scan the QR code that you see on your screen. And as a thank you to all of you for sticking with us through this presentation, I would like to invite our Marketing and Communications Coordinator, Sarah, to announce today's winner.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us and sitting through our presentation. Today's winner is going to be Jerry D. So Tanessa will be in contact with you about how to pick up your prize.
Thank you, Sarah, and congratulations to Jerry. If you're curious what you have won, it is a drawstring backpack filled with a lot of new library swag that we got this semester. So I will email you after the webinar ends. All right, and so now's the time that we're going to answer any questions that you might have had. The first question is actually for me, and that is, how can I access the recording of this presentation? We're actually going to upload this to the FAU Libraries YouTube channel. I will send a link after the webinar ends. It usually takes us about a day to get the recording loaded up onto our YouTube page. And the next question, I believe this could be for Renetta or maybe Leah. How can I get the textbook for my course added to the textbook reserve collection?
I can go ahead and answer that. Access services, there you can either contact the department, or I know there's a form you can fill out under FAU forms. And we have a reserve department that will go ahead and handle that for you.
Thank you, Renetta. And I actually have another question that you would be able to answer. The question is, would I be able to bring a guest who does not work for or attend FAU into the library with me?
Yes, we do have access. We do grant access to guests, which does end at 9 o'clock. So yes, guests are allowed.
Thank you, Renetta.
Sure.
And that is the last question that I have for today. If there are any questions that come up after the presentation, please feel free to email them to me and I will make sure to get the answer for you. So I want to thank you again for joining us, and a special thank you to this team for putting together the presentation. You'll receive an email from us with the link to the brief evaluation survey that we hope you will fill out to help us plan future presentations. The email will also include the links to the presentation slides and this recording if you need to refer back to some of the resources discussed today. To stay up to date on our upcoming events, follow us on all social media channels at FAU Libraries. And most importantly, please don't hesitate to reach out to us should you need any help this semester. Thank you.